what? Well, let's move on from the Mandalorian. There's a lot of Mandalorian stuff, and actually, let's talk about the haunting of Bly Manor. So, I mean, it's Halloween, which means that you got all the scary stuff coming out now, which is great. I love scary movies. I love scary TV shows. One of the scary TV shows I really, really, really enjoyed I believe it was last year, 2019, was The Haunting of Hill House, which was directed by Mike Flanagan. Maybe it was 2018. I can't remember right now. But he then went on to direct Doctor Sleep, which I wasn't so keen on. But then he kind of came back with The Haunting of Bly Manor, which I think is kind of, it's not as scary, but it's definitely more. It's more interesting. It's more intriguing than The Haunting of Hill House was. It's based on a book called The Turn of the Screw by Henry James, which is a really good gothic horror book, and they really kind of captured that vibe in what is The Haunting of season 2. I love this Haunting of series. I think it's a really, really good series because there are so many interesting kind of gothic horror books that they can take and adapt. And then we were told here at Small Screen. So yeah, we have a couple of people actually, a couple of sources kind of confirmed this, that the third season of the Haunting of franchise is actually going to be an adaptation of The Woman in Black. So if you haven't read The Woman in Black or seen the stage play in London, it's fantastic. It's a book written by Susan Hill. It was actually it's a gothic horror book, but it was actually written relatively recently. So it was written in 1983, and it features. You must be familiar with it because there was a Daniel Radcliffe movie that came out back in 2012. I wasn't so keen on the Daniel Radcliffe movie, but I really, really love the book, and I really, really love the stage play in London. If you're ever in London, do go and check out The Woman in Black because it's the best thing on stage in London at the West End. It's fantastic. But the book is set, it's kind of set in old England times, and it's the main character is a lawyer called Arthur Kipps who goes to a house called Eelmarsh House, and he experiences weird things there. He goes there to kind of settle the accounts of the woman that lived there that died, and there's a ghost. There's the Woman in Black in the house, and it's really spooky. It's really good fun, and I think it would make a perfect season 3, especially for all those people who felt that season 2 wasn't quite scary enough. Which I know a lot of people have been saying that online. I think the Woman in Black, if they do that, and my sources have told me that it's going to be called The Haunting of Eelmarsh House, which it just sounds perfect, and I ran with it because I really loved the idea, and it was multiple sources that told me. So I just thought, you know what, I'll run with it because it just seems right. And then people have so one source was telling me that it was that Netflix are trying to acquire the rights to the Woman in Black so that they can either make a movie or adapt it into a series. And then another person, just completely unconnected to the first person, told me that it's actually going to be the Woman in Black is going to be season 3 of The Haunting of. So it's going to be called The Haunting of Eelmarsh House. Again, I mean, I get a lot of people sending me tips. I'm very careful about just vetting them beforehand, but sometimes it's really difficult. But when it's multiple people, you kind of got to run with it, and I did. So it's supposedly an exclusive, but it's quite fun. It's quite fun. If that does happen, I'd be really, really happy, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there would be pretty happy as well. Moving away from The Haunting of